Oh, it's a glorious life for that plant. That little flower just receiving God's sunbeams and reflecting them back from his beautiful little face. Just breathing out to all of nature around him his fragrant breath. The results of the life source that God is welling up through him. Oh, it's a wonderful life until one day, a dog comes along. Did you know that there are texts of Scripture that indicate there are certain kinds of dogs that won't be in heaven? I think I know at least one of the kinds of dogs that it's talking about. I call them feisty dogs. They're the kind of dog that is always and forever barking at everything. And nothing. You know the type dog? Some of you are looking at me rather strange. This is a parable. All right? You know those miserable kinds of dogs, barking at everything. And when they bark, they also kick. Bark, 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 kick, kick, kick. Bark, 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 kick, kick, kick. Barking and kicking. Any of you gardeners here, you've seen the feisty kind of dog I'm talking about? Oh, yes. And just such a dog comes around the corner one day and spies our little praising the Lord flower. And that dog takes a look at that flower. And he thinks to himself, a flower. I don't like flowers. They're too pretty. And that miserable dog walks up to our little flower. And he takes one sniff. Blech. Flowers smell too good. And that miserable dog begins to bark and turn and kick. Kick, 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 kick. Kick, 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 kick. And he kicks mud and dirt and grass all over our poor little praising the Lord flower, taking our little flower in a disgrace of dark, dirty mud. But you know, that little flower isn't like Steve Marshall. Maybe he's not like you either. That little flower doesn't look around for a stick to hit the dog with, or a rock, or a dirt clod to throw at the dog. He doesn't even yell vegetarian swear words at the dog, you know. You vigilink, you know. No, that little flower, all caked in that disgrace of mud and muck, just stands there still lifting his little face up to the gift of God's sunlight, and he says something like, I sure do love you, Lord. Thank you for life and all your good gifts. I don't seem to be able to move too well today, Lord, but I sure do love you. And God must look down on that little flower and say, oh, little flower, I love you too. You're so precious, so trusting, so uncritical. You haven't let this nasty thing that's happened to you and this darkness that's covering you, you haven't let it get you down. You haven't looked away from me and the gift of my Son. Oh, little flower, because of your tender, gentle, trusting attitude, I'll take care of your problem. Here, let me take care of it. And God brings along a gloriously beautiful cloud. This cloud filled with 1,000,000 tiny diamond raindrops. And God lets those raindrops fly down, down, ever so gently. Washing, 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 washing all the dirt and all the muck away. And now, with all the dirt gone, God drops just enough of those raindrops to light upon that little flower's face, on each petal and on each leaf and up and down his stem, tiny little crystal clear diamond raindrops, covering him like jewels. And then God whisks that cloud away, and the sun bursts forth, and the sun smiling its beautiful little beams down onto that bejeweled flower. Each of its little jewels catching the sunbeam and breaking that sunbeam up into 1,000,000 rainbow colors, and these colors scurrying back on its way we now see that little flower more gloriously adorned than even before. And brothers and sisters, that's symbolic.